We've had 300 and something murders in Chicago this year. The number varies and it changes literally by the day, sadly and tragically. But I'm looking at some data here. I don't know if it's 100% accurate, that black victims of the murders are 291 murders in Chicago just this year alone. And you can go through different data points. Black homicide victimization, I've got a stat here, 13% of the U.S. population, but yet 51% of homicide victims. Can you speak a little bit about that and about the reality of that and some of the policies that lead to that and your perspective on that element of crime?
Certainly, which is why I wanted to bring that up, because presumably if we're going to be having a hearing on white supremacy, we are assuming that the biggest victims of that would be minority Americans. And presumably this hearing would be to stop that and to make sure that we can preserve the lives of minority Americans, which, and based on the hierarchy of what's impacting minority Americans, if I had to make a list of 100 things, white nationalism would not make the list. And we don't see hearings on those bigger issues. You brought up the inner city communities, which is a huge issue. Black on black crime, the breakdown of family, I think is the number one thing that's contributing to that. And we never hear anybody talking about what happens when you remove a father from the home. In fact, I would argue that right now we have a social environment that is hostile towards men and it does not inspire masculinity or being a man and what it means to be a father figure in a household. Black Americans are definitely suffering from the breakdown of the family. And when I say that liberal policies inspire that, what I mean to say is that via the welfare system, we are quite literally seeing the incentivization of bad behavior. When you know that your family gets more money, as a single mother, you will get more money if you don't marry the father of your children. You're not going to marry the father of your children. I've seen this firsthand. And black on black crime is a huge issue in America right now, but people don't like to talk about that. It seems as, well, let's talk about the smaller issues and not the big issues that are facing black America. We saw this same sort of a narrative in 2016 when police brutality became at the forefront of the discussion. And if you were paying attention to politicians, you would have thought that if you were a black American, you couldn't walk outside without being shot by a police officer, when in fact you had a higher chance of being struck by lightning as a black American in 2016 than being shot unarmed by a police officer. The truth is that leftists and Democrats don't want to see these issues fixed in black America because then they can't stump on those issues. You know, we see this rhetoric every 4 years ahead of an election cycle get drummed up. We heard Chairman Raskin in his opening statement mentioned the Trump administration is doing nothing, and that really is the nucleus of what we're seeing here today. We're seeing an attack on an administration, an attack on conservatism ideals ahead of an election cycle. There is no real effort to fix the issues that are in black America, or the things that are hurting minority America, because believe me, they don't want those issues to be fixed.
Ms. Owens, you said that this issue that we're talking about here today, which we all agree obviously is an important issue to root out crime and root out criminal organizations and activities and figure out how to target lone wolves, bad actors, et cetera. You said it wouldn't make the top 100 of the things that you're concerned about as a black American, concerned about black communities in America. What would? You can't rattle off all 100, but the time I've got 30 seconds.
Father absence, the education system, and the staggering abortion rate, as well as illegal immigration, which, the United States Commission of Civil Rights, when they were actually doing work in 2008, came out with a report and told the truth, which is that illegal immigration harms black Americans first and foremost. We are the ones that are meant to compete with illegals for jobs, and they are flooding our communities with crime and violence. Black American men between the ages of 18 and 22 are harmed by illegal immigration, but just saying that perspective is considered racist, and it's not.
The gentleman's time has expired. Thank you very much. And